I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got what should be a good one between the Miami Dolphins and the Cleveland Browns. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, thanks. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to First Energy Stadium in Cleveland, Ohio. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Miami Dolphins and the Cleveland Browns. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis on hand. And this is a game where the defenses, they need to be on their toes because you've got quarterbacks here, yes, that can throw the football, but they can also run it very well, too.
Mobile quarterbacks. Remember, for the longest time, they used to tell the quarterbacks, stay in the pocket. We don't want you outside of it at all. Nowadays, that mobility, truly an asset, and people are game planning for it. As a scout told me recently, we are actually working with what the colleges are giving us nowadays.
The final playoff push is upon us. It's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. This will be fielded at the 8. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. So here come the Dolphins now as they get set to take over on offense. The former national champion at Clemson bringing him onto the field, and that's the signal caller, Deshaun Watson.
And what I loved about meeting with him before the game was talking to a guy who takes ownership of his performance. 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions last week, but all he focused on was the loss, okay? And he's
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. A bad start there, a big loss on their first play from scrimmage. It's second down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
And now a throw here secured by his running back out of the backfield. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. Give him 9 on the play, and they're going to face a third down. An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8. A shotgun snap for Watson, and that will be incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
They are going for it. Here's Watson. And this is incomplete. A surprising move here on the opening drive of the game. And the Browns are going to get this thing back. Excellent field position. So shall we say a bold decision to go for it, and that bold decision does not pay off.
And when you talk about bold, you're saying all caps?
All caps.
Yeah, without a doubt. Maybe they're telling their defense they have a lot of faith in them. I mean, that's how you have to spin it, is that you tell your defense, you know something? We were able to go for it there because you guys are so good. I'm not worried about things. That's the only explanation I can come up with in this situation.
Well, he better get ready to spin it for that post-game presser because you know he's going to be out.
He's going to have to spin it for his own locker room, frankly.
3rd and 2. Now Trubisky. It's caught. Jones. And he will have the first before he's brought down right on the chalk of the 20. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive. On 1st down, here's Breida. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. On 2nd down, a run with Breida. And they'll get him down right around the 16. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to 3rd down. On 3rd down, Trubisky. And finding the tight end, Hooper. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Now the second year back from LSU, it's Darius Geis. Give him 3 on the gain there. 2nd and goal. 2nd and goal from inside the 5. Again, Geis. And he gets halfway home from the 4 down to the 2-yard line. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4 down territory.
Defense didn't budge on 3rd down. Now what are we going to see on 4th?
We are soon to find out, but does this feel like old school football or what?
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
This is an old-fashioned goal line stand. I know what I would call on offense. I would go for it. I want some type of a play where my quarterback has a chance to run it or throw it. I don't just want one static play.
In the end, the opening drive, Charles, does yield points. Maybe not the touchdown that they wanted, though.
Yeah, but bottom line, they wanted to get something out of that drive, and they did that. 3 points, they won't turn that down at all.
Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the number 1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're number 1 in their conference.
Back to throw, Watson. He gets this one complete to Traquan Smith. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down. On 1st and 10, Watson being chased out left. And he gets it down a yard or 2 shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple. Ready for the 2nd quarter, and it's our visitors with the football as they've got it with a 2nd down and 2 coming up. It's Dolphins football here as we begin the 2nd quarter as they've got it with a 2nd down and 2 coming up. Throwing again on 2nd down. Watson, open man here, T.J. Jones. And they're going to have another 1st down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 20-yard line. From the red zone now, Watson. They'll try and set up the screen to Hines. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. A full 5-yard loss that time. It's going to make 2nd down pretty tough. Got to give some credit there defensively. They snuffed out that screen early on 1st down.
Really read it well, didn't they? Because they didn't bring the pressure that they expected. They covered all the passing lanes. So once you see it break down as the passer, I think in this situation, you're throwing it at the feet of your back to make sure no one picks it off, or you throw it away, throw it over the sideline. Don't try and freelance and try and make a bigger play. There's really no one else running a pattern that should be open. The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you go make a play on the football.
And it's caught by Salek. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What do the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open.
And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. Nyheim Hines, his 9th touchdown of the season, and the Dolphins have taken the lead. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him, and you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. This one taken from the 7. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. The Browns offense heading back out to take possession. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. From the gun on 3rd down, it's Trubisky. He's got Hooper on the short connection. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a 1st down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there. Now that's the type of play that gives you a chance to win. Nothing forced downfield where you don't have a guy open. Swing it out to the back, and maybe even check it down, whatever you want to call it. Gain of 5. You're just trying to get 4 on 1st down. They're ahead of the chains now.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Caught by Jones. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the 1st. The drive stays alive. A 3rd down gain of 8. Watson off play action.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. To throw again on 2nd down. Watson flushed out right. And he goes out of bounds. It looks like right at the 50. Deshaun Watson, so multi-dimensional, able to scramble for the 1st. 2 minutes to play in this first half. 7-3, our score.
Let's go. Let's do it.
And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything to warrant to the flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Now Watson. This complete to Jones. And he's going to have the 1st down at about the 38. And the drive stays in motion with a nice 8-yard pickup on 4th. Watson now 10 of 16 throwing the football. It's 1st and 10. Watson looks to throw again. Escaping the pressure right. Now he'll pull it down. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a 1st down.
That was an excellent job of recognizing the situation. His first read wasn't there. Heck, his second read wasn't there. But he bought himself a little extra time scrambling out of the pocket, got to the sticks, and picked up the first down.
Now it's Watson. That's caught by his tight end, Foster Moreau. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. It's another 10 yards on that one and another first down. So second and inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker. And this one complete to Smith. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. That one a first down pickup of 8.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Off of play action, it's Watson. Rolling to his... Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it. And this is picked up by the Browns. And he will bring this across midfield to the 49-yard line. Following the fumble recovery, it's Trubisky. That's caught over the middle. Hooper. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. And the timeout comes in with 2 seconds remaining. So they can trot out the field goal unit for the try before we hit the lockers. And now we'll get a late timeout as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. He connected on his first, this from 41. And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through, and that will do it for this first. There you have it. Halftime quickly over. Third quarter, here we go. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This one taken from the 7. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Here's the Browns offense now getting set to start off this third quarter. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. This is Breida. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Once again, they run with Breida on first down. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. Now they'll throw it with Trubisky. And this is caught by Curse. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. Now they'll try to convert on 3rd and 6 after the 4-yard completion. Out of the gun, Trubisky. That's complete. Hooper. And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the first. An effective 7-yard third down conversion. Here's Sproles. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Jamal Sheard on the stop. Now it's Breida, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation. From the shotgun is Trubisky. A dump off to Sproles.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. So here are the Dolphins now. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Now, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Looking to throw again on second down. Watson, and he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. 50 catches for him now on the year, and he's got a first down.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. Clearly wasn't outside of the tackle box. There's your penalty.
And accompanying that penalty, a loss of down.
They lose the yardage, and, of course, they also lose the down on the grounding call, and it's quickly second and long. Out of the gun, Watson. And this is Selleck here with the grab.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on second down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on third down.
Throwing on third down, Watson. And the throw there going to be incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. They will indeed snap it to Watson. And my goodness, this is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And this Browns defense stands tall. And he'll have a tough time living that one down. It's one thing, Charles, to drop a pass. It's quite another to drop it on fourth down.
And so many teams work on that in terms of locking in on those key downs. You know, I've seen, you and I both been to practices where we've seen, hey, third down situation, big third down alert, lock in here, fourth down play, make sure you're focused just a little bit extra. It didn't pay off in that situation.
And again, the run defense stout this time. He maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage, but no more.
Mike 5-5, Mike 55, Mike 5-5. Let's go, team.
On third down, Trubisky. And finding the tight end, Hooper. And this won't be enough. A good secure tackle, and they stop him a few yards shy at the 46. And we're back now here in Cleveland. This one's still anybody's ball game. It's a 1-point difference here as we begin the fourth quarter of play.
Mason Crosby on for the field goal. A 63-yard attempt.
And this kick is not going to get there. It's short and no good. So a chance there goes by the wayside. That one just didn't have enough leg to get there.
Yeah, and it would have given them a lead here in the fourth quarter. And those are the ones that keep you up at night when you don't have enough distance. I wonder if maybe did his foot hit the ground first? Did he not get enough of the ball? He's going to be thinking about that one.
Pretty solid run here on first down. Almost picked up another first, but he appears to be a few inches short. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson sliding out of the pocket. Complete to Jones. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. 17 yards for the Dolphins there as they've got themselves a first down. Well, probably the only thing he did wrong there was go out of bounds, nursing this fourth quarter lead. You want to stay in, eat the clock.
Yeah, you got to love the effort, the catch, the extra yardage, but you got to know the situation. Stay in.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Eric Berry, the safety, comes flying in for the sack.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front, nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
To try again after the sack. Watson, and the pressure gets to him again. That's Luke Kuechly with a sack.
Well, this is what happens when you get behind the chains, as people like to say. When you have obvious passing situations, hard to vary it up and fool the defense.
And you hate those situations if you're an O-lineman, right?
Oh, without a doubt, because you just know they're coming, and you never know exactly how. They can be exotic in their blitzes, or their athletic ability just takes over.
Pryor has it complete. A crazy sequence here. A huge gain that time, but it still leaves him well short for fourth down.
I don't know how many times, not just in my playing career, but you and I working together, have we ever heard a coach say, you know, I just don't have that play on my call sheet. And that's really what we had here. That was a big hole they were trying to get out of.
Yeah, big gain, still a ways to go, though. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. Looking to throw, Trubisky on first down. And incomplete. Austin Hooper, the tight end, was the intended target. And that'll bring up second down. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Trubisky will throw. He's got his man. It's Kurz. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. That's a gain of 4 as we slip inside of 4 minutes left in regulation. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big third down. It's caught on the left side by Kurz. And he's going to come up a bit short. He needed to get to the 35 for the first, but he only makes it to the 34. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
6-yard punt, though they did get 9 back on the return. And it'll be Dolphin football. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. Right now clinging to a 1-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs. And the goal? End the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead. Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
A gain of 22. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now this window is running back out of the backfield. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Watson now to throw. And he'll find Moreau here. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. Whistles now and a timeout. So defensively, they burn it here with 1:51 left. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Throwing now, Watson. They'll try and set up the screen to Hines. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped.
Let's go, baby.
The Browns will quickly use their 3rd and final timeout. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. Watson in the offense going to come up 1st and 10. And he's hit on all 5 of his pass attempts on this drive so far. Watson. And this is caught. And that could seal it. It's a touchdown.
Well, it'd be real easy to say that they are firmly in control right now, but I'm looking at your face and I'm thinking I've got to be careful with that.
Well, it's a 2-score game. You're inside at 2 minutes. I think you can breathe relatively easily. Now.
Yeah, you can, but still, you got to stay vigilant. Can't give up anything cheap and easy. That could put you in some jeopardy.
So now a big play here as the Dolphins will go for the 2. Now Watson. Feeling the pressure here and taken down. A sack back at the 7.
Well, they tried to get 2 and ended up getting none because the quarterback had nowhere to go with the ball and ends up getting sacked.
Nowhere to go at all. Great job, though, defensively. They were ready. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Trubisky readies the offense. Down by 10. A minute 40 remaining. It's been a struggle to score all day, and now they need to do it twice here late to have a chance. Now a deep ball here, hauled in just past the 50. A big play that time for Cleveland. 65 yards. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. That pass just a little bit off. It looked like maybe he tried to force it in there.
Game speed, always different, no matter what you do in practice. Can't simulate it, right? So your decision-making, everything has to be a little bit quicker. Sometimes it can throw you off until you adjust.
Goes underneath for Sproles. No gain on the play, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Joe Hayden, the veteran, with a pick.
Interception, baby, all day.
So many times we end a game, and as we're recapping it, we're talking about what offenses did and how they won the game. Let's flip this one over. The defense, they frustrated the offense the entire ball game. That's why they're walking out of here with a victory.
And they're going to love to walk out of here with that as their final act, that interception. Good way for them to end it. Eluding the pressure right. And he is out of bounds right around the 34. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble.
Partner, as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock has gone off in your head, it's time to go. Tuck it and get all you can.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Here's Watson out to his left. And his throw is incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise. Because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Watson, and he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here, he throws it away, and now it's 3rd.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. Now it's Watson. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And fourth down now coming up.
Now, he's been a busy man out of the backfield. They've looked his way quite a bit so far in this game.
Nice job there defensively, though, adjusting, because a couple of his earlier catches, he was wide open. Not that time.
You mentioned the key word, adjustment. A better cover man on him now in space.
Now they go for it on fourth, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Browns are going to get this thing back. Excellent field position. Boy, sitting on a 2-score lead at this stage in the game. That punter, he must be pretty lonely over there on the sideline thinking, why in the world was my number not called there?
As far as he's concerned, the check will still cash, right? It is your choice not to use me in this situation. But I also look at it this way. You know, some coaches are more aggressive than others. They just want to take care of the football, have the ball on offense, and go at it that way. So a very interesting call, but he wants to take care of the ball himself.
Give him 7 on the play, and that's going to lead to a third down. And that's incomplete. Clock stops with 10 seconds left. And they're indeed going to go for it here on fourth down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. They'll try and throw for it with Trubisky. And it's caught over the middle. Hooper. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. A defensive breakdown allows a pickup of 16 on fourth down. So a victory here for the Miami Dolphins. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.